Good morning. It is the 11th of January 2022. Um, just want to touch on a little subject that I have uh, heard about all my life, which is get that college degree. Well, a lot of people are under the assumption that that somehow makes you smarter. It does not. What it does, ideally, is give you a more pointed education, a specialty field. That's about it. It doesn't make you smarter. It doesn't make you wiser. It means that you had the diligence and persistence to get a more pointed education in a certain field. Does it make you smarter than any Joe Blow walking down the street? Absolutely not. It just means that you had a higher interest in a specific thing, a specific field. Um, and in today's environment, the quote unquote education environment, and Jesus, I hesitate to call it that. Um, it is still debatable. You have things like gender studies, seriously, uh, basket weaving. Okay. Um, I'm sure there's a plethora of other things. I cringe too hard to even bother to look it up. I really do. It's just like, I can't even do it. Um, Now, that is not to put down people who have taken the time to go to college. No, absolutely not. I think that it is fantastic that people have enough of an interest in a certain field to be willing to endure things that have nothing to do with the field, like political agendas of the professors, political leanings. And I'm going to tell you something. No student should ever know the political leanings of any of their teachers. If any student ever does, then that teacher has failed in literally every single way, because what you're now wandering into is the realm of indoctrination, not education. Intelligent people can always debate things. And part of taking the time to have a debate is deciding on whether or not the person who wants to quote unquote debate with you is intelligent enough to have that conversation. Because a lot of times, folks, let's just face it, they aren't. What they do is they have been led by the nose ring for so long, have done zero research on their own. I don't trust anybody else's research, period. Now, I'll source stuff just so that people have other things to look by, because myself, I want things sourced. But none of that, unless you can find an entity that is zero bias and concentrates on facts, and that's rare, then even that is not truly relevant. Today's education system is kind of scary. They're trying to teach something called CRT, which is critical race theory, which is teaching racism. That's all it is. If you're white, you're bad. Really? Um, and I don't understand that. See, I thought we settled all this, and I mean, frankly, quite a long time ago. Uh, I thought this was all settled in the 60s. I mean, my family, it was settled long before that, but it actually had to be written into law because idiots, period. And I will never think of any organization that promotes racism of any kind as anything but a group of idiots and an absolute waste of the gene pool. Um, Back to it. So I guess I just want to get it out there. Don't think because you don't have a college degree that you're not smart. Don't think that the opportunity to be smart has passed you by. That's patently not true. Never has been, never will be. And try to have the strength to not necessarily push back on, but to have the strength to not let people who concentrate so hard on that one facet, that one aspect of life, that it gets you down. Don't let it do that to you. That's and I think that those people mean well. I really do. But I think that they've got it all jacked up. Also, I got into a really bad. I've been in two really bad accidents in my life. One with a bicycle, where I decided to face plant a fence post about 18 inches in diameter on a bicycle, doing about 30 miles an hour. The My mom obviously took me to the hospital, and the doctor, and he was a great guy, Dr. Sam McFarland, um, stuck what, of course, appeared to me as I was, I got to think about this, 6, maybe years old, 7, what appeared to be a 3 foot long needle into my cheek, and oh, I'm sorry, this side, I believe, and yeah, this side, and withdrew as much blood as he could, and sent me home. Said, hey, if he falls asleep unexpectedly, bring him back. Now, this is going to be in 72, 73. So we've come a phenomenally long way since then. That's almost 50 years ago, man. So I don't hold anything against anybody for that. What we found out when I had my most recent car crash back in 2005, again, brain damage. The troopers called up my relatives, said, don't worry, he's not going to make the life flight to the hospital. Surprise, I'm here. But what we found out was that I had damaged my brain twice, and impulse control center, and also what has to do with short-term memory. So I went from being a kid when I was young to making straight E's and A's to having a struggle bus. We didn't really understand why, because I could still function, right? If I had been dysfunctional, then we would have made the natural connection that it had to do something with the blunt trauma. So in 2005, we went back to see Doc, neurosurgeon or neurologist. And he said, "Oh, hey, this is your second time around. Have you had an accident before where you kind of went face first into something?" They were like, and we were like, "Why, yes, I have." And literally the scales fell off my eyes. I mean, weight of the world lifted off my shoulders. So, so even if you've had like an intense accident, or I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you've got something you want to learn, nothing is stopping you. Once I found out what had happened, and once the disconnect was removed, and I understood things, man, that reinvigorated my desire to learn like crazy. I mean, just insanely much. I read anywhere between 2 and 5 new books a week, and it could be anything from spaghetti westerns to sci-fi to whatever. Pick a subject. Politics, cool, which I hate, but you have to get involved in because it is involved in your everyday life. You do realize that, right? Um, but I guess what I want to put out there is don't worry so much about that college degree. If you can get it, great. Do I feel that other people should pay off your college degree? Hell no. Take that burden on your own shoulders. Don't encumber somebody else with it. Um, but a check in the box should not determine how you feel about yourself. Today's education system is thoroughly and patently broken. There are colleges which allow certain protected groups a lower standard for the same grade, and that automatically means that the system's broken. A grade cannot depend upon ethnicity, skin color, or anything else except the answer to the question. To do anything else means that you are betraying the education system. When I was growing up, the United States was first pretty much across the board in all aspects of education. I think maybe the Germans had engineering on us. Yeah, that might be pretty much. I'm sure I'm being a little bit optimistic about the United States. Sorry, love my country. But everybody came here for everything. If you wanted the best education, you come to the United States. Period. End. No discussion. Now they want to go out of the United States to get better education in certain areas. And that to me is a dramatic change. And I think a lot of that is due to the politicization, right, on campus. Uh, there's no such thing as a safe space. You can hang that up. If you want to have a safe space, home. That's it. That's your safe space. Don't ask everybody else to make your space safe for you. That literally denies you when you pull that kind of crap. You think that people ought to cater to your whims. That literally denies you and them the ability to have legitimate social interaction and to figure out how you function socially. And social interaction is a skill as much as anything else. There's always the option to simply leave. If you meander into a conversation that's about a subject you don't like, or you see it taking a direction you don't like, you've got about three options. Let's be honest about it. You can leave. So, yeah, just don't feel like messing with it. I'm not on my game today. I just, yeah, whatever. You can participate, or hello, Airy Faye. Don't know who you are. You can leave. You can participate. Yeah, that's really it. Or you can stand by and listen, potentially learn something. I've got a big problem with people who leave all three areas of those conversations. I mean, I don't really have a problem with it, but I've always thought that you could always potentially learn something, even if it's being brought about by a bad source. You don't ignore information simply because of the source. That's patently stupid. Um, but anyway, I know I meander off base every now and again, so bear with. But that's about it for me today. I think that a lot of people sell themselves short, and I think that more importantly, a lot of schools do wrong by our kids, our grandkids. And the really painful thing about it is you're literally paying to be indoctrinated. Think that over. If you've got a teacher that ever strays off the subject matter of what you're studying, you're being indoctrinated. Teachers are there to teach you what you pay to be taught, and that's it. But I don't know, man. I know I'll ramble sometimes. Bear with me, but that's all I got for you, man. Just wanted to chill out, slap some opinions out there, see what sticks. We'll see you. Peace. Have a great day.